Good morning once again, and thank you for joining us here on Sunrise at Sea. If you just joined us, it's right in time for our Views Part 2, where the ladies and I will be discussing something else, particularly betrayal. And we put this question on our social media pages. Have you ever been betrayed by somebody, or have you ever betrayed somebody? Before we dive into this conversation, watch this.
How should we behave in our relationship to not to get betrayed?
What is it that you do to make your partner feel that they are special, that they're the one you still choose every morning when you wake up, that they're the one that you want to be there with the next morning and the next morning? How do you manifest your love, your appreciation, your admiration for your partner? You know, you work here, you're very invested in this project, you're super attentive to me, you're charming, you're funny. When you go home, is this the guy that goes home, or is it the leftovers that you bring home?
Well, yes, we are talking about betrayal, and in this context, in relationships and also platonic relationships, intimate relationships and platonic relationships. Ladies, have you ever been in this position? Have you ever been betrayed by somebody?
Like how Judas betrayed Jesus?
Yes.
Kind of betrayal?
Isn't that a bit extreme?
Because that is like the ultimate betrayal right there. But have I been betrayed? I have been double-crossed though. But I wouldn't, because betrayal is such a big word, okay? And for me, that's the reference, you know, what Judas did to Jesus. Like, that's the reference. Has it ever come to a place like that? Absolutely not. But I have been double-crossed before. However, I have never betrayed somebody. But then again, there's two types of betrayal. When you're betraying somebody, you know, and when that person is betraying themselves because they put expectations on you that you did not agree to fulfill in the beginning. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes. So for instance, if you're in a platonic relationship per se, and then say me and Shivan are good friends, and then she thinks of me as her best friend, but I have not committed to being your best friend, and then you feel hurt when I say, no, Sandra is my best friend. Honey, you're betraying yourself. So there's betrayal from somebody else and betrayal when we betray our own selves.
Yeah.
So no, unfortunately, I have never betrayed anybody that I know of, but you can still let me know. Let's have this conversation.
Maybe someone is sitting saying
like,
that
oh,
one.
betrayal.
Lying through
Judas.
her teeth. Shivan.
I would definitely concur with what Sarah has said. Betrayal is such a big word, but in one way or the other, we have been double-crossed. However, there are times when we have actually betrayed our own selves because we have had expectations of people that they are not even aware, and then you end up feeling betrayed. So yes, it's something that we have all been through in one way or the other. It may not come off as extreme as Jesus and Judas Iscariot's case, but it's definitely something that does happen in society.
Well, betrayal is such, it's such a magnitude. Like when you even hear the word betrayal, and some people get, they get confused about it. And some other people don't even know that they're actually being betrayed. But let's dig into what betrayal is. And it has diverse meanings. And the first is exposing or delivering someone to an enemy. Now, this is Judas.
Judas.
So the question would have been, yeah, Judas.
Yes. And there is, of course, a breach of trust. Now, this usually happens, for example, you have seen like rape victims,
Yes.
where the society actually makes them think tells them that it's their fault,
Yes.
that they were raped, and they feel such a breach of trust from the society around them and the people around them. And then revealing information in violation of confidence. Now, this is very common in frenemies. Very, very common. People share their most intimate thoughts with friends, and these same friends go and, you know, tell other people and put them in a very, very difficult situation. And
When you mention that, then I think of also our parents. Oh my goodness, they can't keep quiet. But next thing you know, oh, Sarah got suspended. Auntie knows, uncle knows, tata knows, Jaja, everybody
family
knows.
meeting.
Even your little sibling.
Everybody
Little
knows.
siblings are always telling on the older ones. Like even when you said don't, what Shivan Panange, little siblings, I just do not understand what it is with the little ones. They can tell you exactly the way it happened. Betrayal.
Well, failure to keep or honor a promise or principle as well. You
wow.
agree to things and this person just bails out. And then at the 11th hour, you are left hanging and you feel betrayed, of course, and revealing a characteristic, typically one preferably concealed. Now, this is very, very, very common as well, especially in like toxic family members.
Yeah.
You know, those ones that like to bring things from 1995.
Before independence, they start bringing up all that mess. But you know what? Now that you have explained what betrayal is, then you've broken it down to what it may be. Then yes, I have betrayed somebody, but it sounds so strong.
How did you betray this person?
You know, the second last point, when you fail to live up, when you fail to
honor a promise
or principle. All those times when your friends are like, "Can we go out for brunch? Can we go out for lunch?" And then you say, "Yeah, I'll come," and then you don't show up, and you do not communicate. Look at you! You're guilty, Sandra. You're even holding your chest.
Guilty as charged.
Yes. Then I have betrayed somebody. You know, when you break it down in that context, yeah.
How did it make them feel?
That's the thing, because it has happened to me. They must have felt very awful. And
how did you feel
when I betrayed them? When somebody did that to me?
Yes.
I was so devastated, because you know when you ask somebody out and then they're like, "Yeah, I'll come," and then at the last minute you're now seated at the restaurant, you have made all these plans, you're excited and like, "Yeah, I'm not going to come," and then they even go on to say, "But why should I come? Is there anything important?" That feels really awful. I've felt that. Now, thinking about it, that I have done it to somebody else, now I feel like such a terrible person right now.
Well, can you imagine in relationships, we have seen, like yesterday we were discussing adultery yesterday, but looking on the flip side, let's think of this person who has been betrayed.
Yes.
How do you think someone can try to stop being betrayed? It's not foolproof. But do you think they have a role to play? Like the video we watched, like when you go home to your partner, do you take leftovers? Do you give your best to other things? Maybe it's to work, to friends, that when you get home, you're empty. You just have leftovers, which can lead this person to betray you.
Yeah.
The first one would be to stop being over-trusting of people. If you think about it, because if you're looking at the aspect of how can you stop over being betrayed, because you're looking at it from the point of, I'm the one being betrayed and I want to stop people from betraying me. Is that what you're looking at?
Yes.
Because then the thing would be, stop trusting other people. Then stop also putting your expectations high. Then know that human beings will always be human beings.
But this is your person. This is
in the
just not
aspect of it
anybody,
being
in
a
an intimate
relationship.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying in a platonic relationship. I'm saying in an intimate
Give
relationship.
room for mistakes. Give them a benefit of doubt once in a while. Do not be so hard on them, but also don't be hard on yourself. But also have open conversations about these kind of things. That could save you a whole lot from being betrayed. Tell your partner, when you do this, I feel this type of way. I do not like it when you do this. Could you do it like this? But also, give your partner a benefit of doubt. Cut them some slack. They are not Jesus Christ. They are human beings. Human beings make mistakes, but also learn to be forgiving. Forgive and let go. Because the Bible says you're supposed to give 77 times 7 times. Like, forgive and let go. Do not be so hard on them constantly, because you'll find yourself in a situation whereby when they do something that has betrayed you, you're going to hold on to that anger. You're going to be so hard, but also allow yourself to know that you could also have been in this situation and you would have done this. So cut your partner a bit of slack.
But if they keep on doing it over and
Then
over again, yes, the Bible says that.
That's a
but
different issue.
The best form of apology, like,
then that's a different
change
issue.
of behavior.
Absolutely.
So you can't
issue.
keep on asking for forgiveness and then you go back and do the very same thing.
That's a totally different
This
issue.
is what I have to say. Hold them accountable. Hold
Exactly.
people accountable for their nonsense. This is the thing. You're not responsible for anybody's actions except for your own, but you can hold people accountable for their actions, and you can put ultimatums and draw boundaries and say, if you continue doing this, I am going to remove myself from the situation because I do not tolerate that and I'm not going to stand for that nonsense. Number 2, be an example. Be the kind of person you would want in your life. So if you're going to want somebody to always honor promises, to always keep what you tell them confidential, to always have your back, to always, you know, be understanding and give you the benefit of the doubt, whatever situation may be that person to them as well. Because we like to take, and we don't want to give. So that is also very important. And another thing, and I would like to play devil's advocate. You're probably betraying yourself by putting expectations on other people.
Yep.
Okay, it takes me back to my point of you're not responsible for anybody's actions except yours. I watched Spider-Man and MJ said this, and I think it is very profound. If you expect disappointments, you will never be disappointed.
Absolutely.
But it's also a very sad way to live.
Yes.
You understand?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
But
it's
what
a
can
very
you
sad
do?
way to live when you don't expect people to always, you know, be good and do the moral thing or the right thing that they're supposed to do. But yeah, for
It
me,
saves you a whole lot of disappointment, because if someone does something and you're like, yeah, I mean, I expected it. She's human. Yeah, move on.
but then again, I understand that, and I'm going back and forth here, but I hope, because I'm playing devil's advocate at the same time. That happens, but again, we should ask ourselves, why should we settle for less? Even when you're accepting that human beings can be disappointing, by the way, very flawed and very disappointing. We are disappointing people, eh?
But don't allow to keep yourself in that
Why
situation.
are you
then.
accepting to settle for less? I'm only, you know, going back and forth because we need to look at both sides of the spectrum. You cannot bring one point to table and not think of the flip side of the coin.
Well, let's look at how people often respond to betrayal. And it says people often respond to betrayal by pulling away from the person who betrayed them. I mean, this seems very natural.
Yes.
But when you depend on someone to meet certain needs, this response might not be feasible, especially, of course, people in relationships, plus if it is a guardian looking after a child,
Yes.
then they depend on this person. So it becomes harder, and we go on to look at betrayal trauma theory. And it says betrayal trauma was first introduced as a concept by psychologist Jennifer Freyd in 1991. She described it as a specific trauma that happens in key social relationships where the betrayed person needs to maintain a relationship with the betrayer for support or protection. This theory suggests harm within attachment relationships, like relationships between a parent and child or between romantic partners, and it can cause lasting trauma. So you can imagine you're in this setting, and yes, people will say, we have had stories of people growing up and saying, I was defiled growing up by my caretaker. That is a betrayal, because this person is supposed to be looking after you.
Yes.
They're supposed to be your protector, your provider and everything. And then this person goes on and does such a deed. This is the ultimate betrayal.
Yeah.
But then they stay there because they depend on this person, and they go through this, and it causes trauma later on in life. We have had many people who have come to say this, even people in marriages who have stayed, and many people would wonder, why do they stay there? Why do they stay? They feel betrayed about so many things.
Yeah.
But because they solely depend on this person, maybe they don't have
Anywhere else to go.
They don't have family, they don't have a way to support themselves, but they stay there. But they feel so betrayed, and it does take a toll on such people over time. That's why we witness things like crimes of passion.
Yes.
Because somebody wakes up one morning and snaps. So it's not like black and white. There are so many gray areas. I think it's easier for platonic relationships. If you have friends, it's easier to cut them off. Because
No, it's not.
Is it?
No, it's not. It's not, because with every relationship that we form comes with a lot of attachment.
Yep.
I have had friends that I have felt betrayed by, and it really broke me having to end those relationships. It was very devastating. It was a legitimate heartbreak. So it is not easy, regardless of the relationship. Regardless of the type of relationship, could be with siblings, could be with parents, partner, spouse, your best friend, a colleague who you absolutely adore, and then now you get to find out that this person is trying to sabotage you in the workplace. It is still very heartbreaking. There's nothing like it's easier with this type of relationship. It's all the same.
It's never
All
easy.
wrong.
I guess you're right, because there was this story that I came across on social media, and just this bride-to-be found out that her maid of honor was having an affair with her fiance. And they had been friends like since kindergarten. And this person helped her all through, and she like the right hand person who is supposed to be there for you. So I can only imagine the devastation that can come with that. And this is a double devastation. This is your best friend,
And
this is the person you
your
spend
fiance.
the
These are the last people you would expect to harm you in that kind of way. So I guess
Yeah, it does make sense, because remember also when it comes to platonic friendships, you're investing your time, you're investing your emotions, you're giving in your all. You're also probably telling them everything about you. So when they break your heart and it's maybe you need or you have the urge to, you know, cut them off, it's never easy, because if you have spent most of your time with them, if you've been doing things together, now you have to go back to doing things alone. So which is quite difficult.
But sometimes there's a very blurred line between betrayal and, you know, extending a hand of help, if I may say.
elaborate.
Let me say it this way. For instance, your best friend is getting married and you found out that her future husband is cheating on her. Would you tell her that
Wait,
he's
what?
cheating?
Repeat.
Hey.
Hey.
You found out that your best friend's fiance is cheating on her. Would you tell her?
How close are you?
Does
This
it
is your
matter?
best
This is your
friend.
best friend. I wouldn't even, is that a question? I would call you, I would take pictures. Oh my God, I would definitely tell you.
Because when you break down what betrayal is, then that means all of us have betrayed somebody in one way or the other. We have betrayed trust. We have broken people's dreams and hopes sometimes. And that comes off as a betrayal.
Yes.
When you have to tell them what you think.
About their person.
What you think about this is not actually the realities, and that's a betrayal in itself. So I'm asking the question.
Yeah.
Would you
My best friend, yes, I would.
tell her?
So
I
other
would.
friends you wouldn't
Betray.
tell? No. So,
Betray her
because from what
open love.
because of what I'm listening from what
But it
Sandra
is
is
the
saying,
truth.
when it's her
Imagine
best
if-
friend,
yes.
you would tell, but if it's your other friends, you would not tell.
I would not tell, because let me tell you, you have to know your place. You have to know your place. If it is not your place to tell this person, then why are you telling them? If you're not that close, what if she knows? Her and her best friend, like they both know, and then you are coming from the outer circle to tell her, I'll take you, honey, take
Sit
a seat
down.
in the corner.
Yeah.
I don't
Take
know
the
you
high
like
road.
that.
Yes.
You're not in my inner circle. You don't have to come into my inner circle. You don't know what I know. But I'm saying I would tell my best friend, because let's flip this script.
Yeah.
If she gets to find out later that I knew all along,
It would be terrible.
it would be the ultimate betrayal. Like,
Yes.
you're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to be in my corner. You knew this. Why didn't you tell me?
Because usually the messenger gets shot.
Or you die in
That's
your
just
own
why.
movie. Or you die in your own movie. The next
Because, like you said, what if she knows and you're
But
the
this
best
is your
friend?
best friend.
Exactly, but best friends don't tell each other everything.
But
They
you
don't.
go ahead and do your part. You go ahead and tell
You
her
just
whether
tell
they
her,
knew you have
and you
done
don't
your
make
part
it
as
a
a
big
friend.
deal.
You're being accountable. Like if you must, if you know that she's going to ask for evidence, take a video, take photos. The other time I was out with some friends, and my friend, they're dating. Both of them are my friends, yes. And actually, it rhymes with your question. So I asked my friend, she's called Claire, and I told her, Claire, why? You said, I cannot come out today, and I cannot come with Bay because Bay is up country. I'm like, what are you talking about? Your man is here. He's here in Kampala. He's in the same place with me. And I sent her pictures. Yeah. I did it because she is my friend. Well, she's not my best friend, but she is my friend. And this is not the first time it's happening. So how about you save your friend from a liar and a cheat? Like, give the information the way it is. Let her decide whether she wants to continue
I
in a
don't
relationship.
agree with that.
If
I
she
wouldn't.
knew or not.
Siobhan,
move
I
on.
don't agree with that. Much as I say I would tell my best friend, it is very dangerous to do that, to take a video, to send pictures. You don't know that person's frame of mind, where they are. They could commit suicide. They could commit suicide. The delivery of the message is very, very critical, and you can't do it over the phone. You have to sit with this person, and if you see they're a bit unstable, don't tell them.
Well, I understand where you're coming from, but for her case, she asked me, Siobhan, where's the proof? I need proof. I don't think my man can do this.
You can call me Judas from now on. I would not say anything.
Can you imagine?
I will look the other side and pretend like nothing happened. I will come on your wedding and make it colorful and it is not my business. And for that, I am Judas of the day, I guess.
Okay.
Well, let's look at the healing process after being betrayed. What you can do, how you can go around this. Well, the first is acknowledge instead of avoid.
Yeah.
Now, most of us would want to just put those feelings in a box and just hide the box and not have to deal with all those emotions. If you feel resentment, if you feel anger, if you feel rage, you don't want to deal with all that. So thinking about your emotions, how you feel, how this person did this to you and how exactly it made you feel really helps you, because then you can pinpoint the problems in which what they did caused. And also practice accepting difficult emotions. Now that you have acknowledged, practice, because sometimes when you feel so angry, you just want to step away from it. But feel it, allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, because when you do this, then it can regulate these emotions. Teach yourself that, and turn to others for support. This is very, very important. You don't have to tell them everything that happened in detail, but just being there with someone and to vent, you can vent and they can just support you. For example, if you have broken up with someone because maybe they cheated on you or something like that, or a friend ousted you at work and you got fired, just be around people and do different things. Maybe pick up a hobby, go for yoga or go for this event. Just have people around you that are supportive, because when you're alone, the mind can do things to you. So this is a distraction and it's quite good. And then focus on what you need. Sometimes we focus on what has happened to us and we dwell and dwell and dwell on it and we fail to move on. So just think, put your mind space outside that and focus on what's best for you at that moment, what you need to do, what is good for you. Be selfish at that point. And lastly, therapy, of course. Therapy is very, very important. So go and talk to someone if you want to dissect and try to find out what was the problem. Why did this happen? Talk to a professional who will help you work through your issues so that you can heal and you don't get to carry that trauma.
But also you say the best kind of therapy is the kind of therapy that you'll give yourself. That is why I do not agree with people when something has happened to you, your friends tell you, move on, get over it. No. Go through that process, go through that pain, and allow yourself to heal.
And the betrayers should do better.
And call them out.
Do better if you're a betrayer. If you know yourself, you know yourselves. Do better.
It's a Friday.
I'm sipping my tea.
This conversation could go on and on and on, but well, in the essence of time, we have to stop here. But please remember to go onto our social media pages at CTV Uganda. Don't forget to use the hashtag CTV Sunrise. We would love to hear your views on this. Well, from the ladies and me, this was all for our views too today. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I pray that this message reaches the person or the people it was intended to. So here it is. It's not your fault that they betrayed you, that you trusted their word and they took advantage of your kindness. However, it is your responsibility to set boundaries, because what isn't spoken of will continue to happen, and you deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. Do not allow people to walk over you, but rather speak up, because you are worthy of the love and loyalty that you desire.
I hope you had a wonderful time with us right here on Sunrise at Sewell. Unfortunately, like they said, all good things come to an end, but you can always catch us again next week on Monday, same time, that is 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. from me and the ladies. Be blessed, follow SOPs. It is the weekend, so enjoy responsibly. And don't forget to be kind and love. Bye-bye.